guys, it's your girl Tamika and I'm back with another video, and this is actually a highly requested video. And in this video I'm going to show you how to moisturize and care for your hair while it's in braids. Now, I want y'all to judge. I don't actually have a human head of braided hair, but I'll have my mannequin here, and she's partially braided. Well, I didn't braid this. This is actually like a pack of braids I stitched onto some braids that some cornrows I did. So it looks like this, but I figured it would be enough for me to demonstrate how to properly care for your hair while in braids. So if you guys haven't done it already, go ahead and hit the subscribe button and the notification bell. The notification bell, I always say that too fast. So you can stay updated on all my hair videos and all of my other cool videos I have on my channel. I do vlogs and I do DIYs and all that type of stuff. But today is all about hair, and I have not named this. Oh, her name is Yolanda. Okay, so we're going to be working with Yolanda today. Also, I'm going to put a playlist below of all of my other hair videos that I've done. I've done a lot of hair videos and other tips and tricks about moisturizing, how to grow hair, and all this type of stuff. So if you're interested in that, I'll put some cards here, and then I'll also put the playlist and the videos down below so you can check those out. Go ahead and do it. But let's just go ahead and talk about we're going to talk about how to moisturize. And I need to spit this gum out. It's so rude for me to be chewing gum on camera. We're going to talk about how to properly moisturize your hair while in braids, and then we're going to talk about actually how to properly shampoo so you won't get a lot of buildup on the braids. So I'll show you guys all those steps. Let's just go on ahead and get started on that. And I'm going to go get rid of my gum too, because I didn't realize I was chewing it. Sorry, y'all. No judgment. No judgment. No judgment. Love you guys. Okay, so just in case this is your first time to my channel and you guys don't know who I am, I am a licensed professional and I am a hairstylist. I don't even consider myself a hairstylist. I consider myself your personal hair coach. And I specialize in helping women grow their hair not just to black or long, but to longer lengths, and also just to get your hair as healthy as it can be. And so I have started a series with a bunch of tutorials and tips and tricks about how to get your hair to where it needs to be, because it's nothing like wanting something but not knowing how to do it. So I'm your girl when it comes to proper and healthy hair care. So I'm rambling again, so let me just go ahead and get on with the demonstration about how to moisturize your hair in braids and how to shampoo. Okay guys, love you guys. Alright Yolanda, thank you for being my model today. We're going to be using this half of your hair for this video. Let me stop tripping. Alright guys, so now there's a couple of things that you can use to moisturize the hair while it's in braids. Normally I would tell you to use braid spray or either make up your own thing. For whatever reason, I couldn't find my braid spray. But what I tell people is, if you're going to buy like the braid spray out of the store, I'm going to put a picture right here so you guys can see, or either right here, so you guys can see exactly what braid spray that I like to use. And then I'm just going to tell you this, just like you see this cup, you would literally like put 4 ounces of water in there and then 4 ounces of braid spray and mix it together, and then you would use that to moisturize, because the braid spray a lot of times tends to be too heavy and it can cause buildup on like the scalp area if you're not very careful, and it can cause the hair to be sticky. So just dilute it, like 50% water, 50% braid spray, or either go with 4 ounces of water, 4 ounces of braid spray, and like you can put the rest of it in a container to use later, and you'll be able to spray it out. Let me go on ahead with my little recipe here. And so I love making up recipes, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to pour some water into a spray bottle, and this is about 4 ounces of water, so a half a cup of water into the spray bottle. And then I have one of my favorite conditioners, Aussie Moist, and this is not a leave-in conditioner, but I feel like any conditioner is a leave-in conditioner, and it's really, really good. So I use this a lot in salon for things I do. I'm just going to put a pump. It's a new bottle, so I might not be able to pump it out right, but I'm going to. That's 2 pumps. Let's make 3 pumps. You don't want to put too much conditioner in there, because you don't want it all conditioner-y, where it's like almost foaming up on the hair. So don't do that. And so I'm going to take that and I'm going to mix it. I'm going to shake it up and mix it just to make sure I didn't put too much. But if I did put too much conditioner, I can always dilute it with a little bit more water. And that looks really good. Yeah, it doesn't seem like it's too much conditioner because it's more water than conditioner. So I put like 3 pumps of this Aussie Moist in there, and I have 4 ounces of water. And then I'm going to put some oil in there. And one of my favorite oils is grapeseed oil. I love grapeseed oil. I would not recommend you using coconut oil because it solidifies when it touches anything cold or water. But use like, this is grapeseed oil, jojoba oil, argan oil, whatever type of oil you have that's liquidy already. You can even use castor oil because castor oil is really good for softening. And I actually have some, but I'm going to use grapeseed oil for this. But castor oil will work perfect. And even olive oil. A lot of people will ask me about olive oil. That one works too. So I'm just going to put like maybe about 10, 12 drops of it in there. And then I'm going to shake it up. And so you've pretty much made like a little concoction of leave-in spray that you can put on to any type of cornrows or braided hairstyles or anything like this. And the reason why I use so much water is because I don't want the scalp to get all the buildup here, because whenever you get buildup on the scalp, whenever you're maintaining braids, if it's too much buildup, it's harder to take loose that little knot that's there. And you want to be mindful because you don't want it to be so hard where you're causing it to mat or causing it to tangle up. And if you cause it to mat or tangle, then you're going to wind up having damage and breakage. So we're trying to prevent that as much as possible. That's why we dilute. So this is the diluted spray. And let me grab a towel because it does get a little bit messy. Now, some people, they might get anal about it and they decide to take one by one and do it. And you certainly can, but I wouldn't take one by one and do it. What I suggest you do if you're going to moisturize is just start from the bottom. Start from the bottom. And thank God that's stand there because I don't have a clip. And just take maybe 4 or 5 braids at a time and just work your way up. And so we're going to start here and then we're going to moisturize, and we're going to leave, like, we're not going to moisturize at the scalp. We're going to try our best not to because it's going to, once you finish everything, it's going to kind of like seep into the scalp anyway, so you don't want to put it directly on there. But just kind of spray. Can y'all see me do that? Spray all the way down the entirety of the braid. Let me go on this side. Just spray until it's saturated. And just don't do the scalp. The moisturizer or the concoction that you made or the conditioner or whatever you use, the braid spray, it's going to, once you finish the whole head, it's going to seep onto the scalp. And you can just kind of like massage it in a little bit. But just spray down the braid real nicely all the way down until you feel like you've gotten to the point where your hair stops, because you don't have to moisturize the entire braid. Because most people who get these type of braids, their hair is more than likely going to be shorter than like the rest of the braid. So if your hair stops here, then you can stop moisturizing here. If your hair stops here, you can stop moisturizing here. And then just kind of get it in real good until it's saturated. Now, I know one of the questions I'm going to get, and hopefully you guys are watching the entire video because there's lots of information in here, is how many times to do it. I would do it at least 3 times a week. Okay? 3 times a week. And if you shampoo your braids, well, you should shampoo your braids, then do it like once every 2 weeks. Some people, they can get away with once a week. But yeah, so just keep like those 4 or 5 braids, just spray down, spray down, spray down, spray down. And then you just keep going. You get you another section and do the same thing. Do not spray directly onto the roots, but just spray down until you feel like where your hair stops, and make sure it's saturated really good. Kind of turn the braids over too while you're doing it so you can get the underside too, because you don't want to miss those. And you can just kind of like smooth it in. You see what I'm doing? I'm smoothing that in until it feels like good and like moisturized. It doesn't have to be soaking wet, but moist. And we're going to keep doing that to all of the braids. These two. And just spray, 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 spray. And diluting it helps it seep through. It helps it seep through. And that feels really nice and moisturized. And we're just going to go do these sections as well. You don't want to leave the rest of your section out, Yolanda. Alright, so spray. Don't spray the roots, because once you finish doing everything, then it's going to seep into the roots. And just spray, spray. And you don't want the buildup. You don't want buildup at the roots, because then it causes matting and it's hard to get it out. And it just, when it's time for takedown, it makes it super hard. So you want to prevent that as much as possible. And plus our scalps create oils naturally, which are the best oils for our hair anyway. Okay, so I'm smoothing that in. And then I'm going to go to the next section and do the exact same thing. And you can take a good handful. Let me get over here. Let me get here so you guys can see. You can take a good handful of braids without fear that you're not soaking. Turn it around. And I'm just going to smooth that in. And then the last section here. Get the underneath parts. Okay. So you would go over the entirety of your head with the same method of spraying the braids. And you would do this at least 3 times a week. And if you're in braids, this is enough. So just make sure you're not spraying directly onto the scalp. And just make sure that you go down into where you think your hair stops. If your hair stops here, then go down to there. If your hair stops here, then go down to there. If your hair stops here, then go down to there. So just moisturize 3 times a week. And it's very, very easy. It keeps the braids moisturized. So when it's time for takedown, the takedown is really, really easy and simple. And you will retain a lot of your length because you moisturize properly, because our hair loves moisture. And moisture is the key to growth. I say that all the time. And so at the scalp, like if you feel like your scalp is dry, you can always put oils there if you need to. But you don't have to, because our scalp creates oils. We have a lot of oil buildup there. But yeah, just in any places you feel like you missed, just go ahead and spray them. But yeah, it's that simple. And I would suggest you do this at nighttime and then let it dry overnight. That way you don't have to worry about your hair being wet during the day. But let's say 3 times a week, y'all. 3 times a week, moisturize your hair with your little concoction or either braid spray, as I described before. Okay, so let's just go ahead and get on to how to shampoo your hair while in braids. Oh, and guys, if you're wearing any type of cornrows or anything like that, I don't have a video specifically for cornrows, but I do have a weave maintenance video, which if your hair is cornrowed underneath a weave, it's kind of the same. So you can go ahead and watch that too, and I'll put a card up above so you guys can go check that video out about weave maintenance, but I think it also applies to cornrows. And then I'm also going to be doing a video on how to maintenance your hair underneath a wig, so look out for that real soon. It's coming real soon. Okay, so I have Miss Yolanda here, and we are getting ready to do like I guess in a sense, a mock shampoo on her hair. And I have an applicator bottle here. I have an applicator bottle here, y'all. Sorry, I dropped that. And then I'm going to be using a shampoo. This is sulfate-free shampoo. I hope it's not too bright, but I wanted to make sure you guys could see it. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and fill up my applicator bottle. Hold up, let me zoom out a little bit. Let me zoom out. Oh, I can't. I'm going to fill up my applicator bottle with water. I guess about 3/4 of the way. And you can use whatever size applicator bottle that you have. It doesn't have to be this one. And then I'm just going to squirt some shampoo in there. It's not an exact recipe. I'm just trying to dilute the shampoo so it won't be too sticky or too shampoo-y, as I like to say. I need to dilute it really well, because the reason why I dilute it is so it can absorb through the braids and get in between the braids clean. And I'm shaking it up. All right. So I have that ready, and now I'm just going to wet the hair down just like you would do a normal shampoo. Wet the hair down. Really well. And then I'm going to take that diluted shampoo mixture that I made, and I'm just going to begin to squirt it onto the braids. And just squirt it all through. And you can, since this is diluted well, you can squirt that on the scalp as well, because you want the scalp and the base to be clean too. And y'all, my mannequin's falling off. Let me fix that. And so basically what you do is you just squeeze it. Squeeze it through. So that way it can get onto your hair that's underneath there. Just squeeze it through, no rubbing and scrubbing. And squeeze it through to the ends. Because even though like the ends of the hair might not be braided, you still want like the braids to be clean. Okay, so I'm just squeezing, and even at the scalp, just kind of like pat and squeeze, pat and squeeze. Okay, pat and squeeze, pat and squeeze. All right, and you see how it still suds up really, really well. You don't need a lot of shampoo, and this helps to be able to rinse it out really good too. So I'm just going to rinse it out. Okay. Make sure you rinse it really well, because there can be like leftover residue in there if you're not careful. So just rinse, even if you have to rinse for a few minutes. And y'all, you can do this in the shower. You can do this in the shower. It's probably better if you do it in the shower, because you have a shower head and you stand there and just let the water rinse over the hair. All right, so all the shampoo is out. And if you feel like you need to repeat the process, especially if you have a lot of buildup, and I will repeat the process because I almost always shampoo. Well, I always shampoo twice, but sometimes I shampoo 3 or 4 times depending on what's going on with my client's head. But yeah, so that's that. So repeat the process, and then I'm getting ready to show you guys how to condition it. So now it's time for the conditioner, and I'm going to put maybe like a ½ ounce of water in to this applicator bottle. And I'm going to take a few squirts of conditioner and put it in here, and I'm using the Aussie. You can use whatever kind of conditioner you want, but you just want to get the conditioner really liquidy. So I'm using the Aussie here. You just want to get the conditioner really liquidy. That way it can be watery enough to be able to absorb through the braids. Yolanda, you're not cooperating. Back on there. All right, so I'm just going to shake that up. But you do want more conditioner than water. And for braids, I probably need to put a little bit more water in there to make it even more watery. Yeah, I put a little bit more in there because you really want it like a liquidy consistency. And let me see if I can show you guys what I'm talking about. Like, can you see that on camera? I don't know if it's too light, but you see how liquidy that is? So you kind of want it like that. Okay. So I'm just going to go on ahead and put the conditioner on the entirety of the braids up until where your hair stops. I mean, you can take it on down if you want to. And just kind of massage it through. And you do want to do this in sections. That way you do get all of the braids conditioned. And put this on the scalp as well. And just kind of squeeze it in and pat it in. And just kind of squeeze it down to the ends of the braids. Okay? Yeah. And you can always make up more as you need it. Because I know a lot of you ladies are wearing like braids that are really, really long. And I know a lot of you ladies have really long hair in braids. So you're going to have to make up a big batch of conditioner to be able to put on your hair. But this really, really, really absorbs into the braids really well. And I would say do this at least once every 2 weeks, but once a week if you can. And making sure that you moisturize your braids like I showed you previously at least 3 times a week. That way you can get some good length retention. And so I'm just going to keep massaging it down. And so after that, it's just like old school times. Okay, Yolanda. Plastic cap over top of the head. Y'all, I'm so bootleg today. Get all the braids up in there, even if you have to clip them up. Plastic cap. There you go, plastic cap. And then, let me just shove all that in there. And I got a clip somewhere. Clip that up, put everything in. And that goes under, you'll go under the hooded dryer for 15 to 20 minutes. Just like you would with a deep conditioning if it were your own, like, natural hair. Okay? So now, 15 minutes has passed. Just like that. So, now she's done conditioning. And so we're just going to rinse really, really well the conditioner out. Okay. And it'll be easy to rinse the conditioner out because it's diluted. And don't worry about it being diluted, because when you take down this protective style, you're going to be doing a treatment on your hair. Okay? Make sure you rinse the scalp really well to get any buildup off of there. Alright, and just make sure that you squeeze any of the water out. You can take a t-shirt or a towel or whatever you prefer after you finish the conditioning process and squeeze the excess water out. Okay, and just be gentle. So I'm just going to go on ahead and just start squeezing that water out, and that'll help it start drying. And you can just let it air dry, because you won't be wetting your hair again. And I would say wait like a day or two before you decide that you want to start moisturizing again after the shampoo and condition. All right, there we go. All clean. Okay, so today we learned how to moisturize your braids, and we learned how to shampoo your braids. And I'm showing you guys all this because I want to, if you're in protective styles, I want you to have as much progress as possible. So if you want a protective style for 2 months, that's on average about 1 inch of growth. So you should retain like most of that if you're doing everything that you need to do. So this is why I'm showing you these things, because we want to get your hair healthy, and we want to get your hair growing and retaining length. So yeah, so I can put you down, Yvonne. I don't need you anymore. But yeah, guys, that was kind of fun. That demonstration, doing it on a mannequin as compared to somebody else's head, because I can do to her what I want. Anyways, I was rambling. But guys, let me know if you have any questions about anything, or even if you have like suggestions about other videos that you would like to see. I mean, the list is growing, and there's a lot of demonstrations I want to do, but for some of them I have to wait for timing. So that's why you haven't seen them just yet. But I'm going to continue on with this hair care series so I can help as many women and men as possible. And these hair care tips are great for all hair, not just men and women, but also children. Because pretty much the same products, unless they're a baby, pretty much the same products that I use here, you can use them on children too. Because, you know, children, they want long, pretty hair too, and healthy hair. So yeah, comments, questions, suggestions, put them below. Don't forget to thumbs up this video if you want more videos like this and more hair care videos. And also subscribe and hit the notification bell. That way when I do these demonstrations, when I do these videos, you can go on ahead and be the first person to see it. Yeah. And I guess that's all I have to say. Yeah, that's all I have to say. So I hope you guys enjoyed this demonstration. I hope you have a wonderful, amazing day. Remember, I am your personal hair coach. And thank you so much for your love and support. And I'll see you in the next video. Talk to you later.